We look at the key concept. This is on page 463. Kind of recapping some things we talked about. Mean is sometimes called the average. We're going to add all the numbers together and divide by how many numbers there are. Remember, the mean should be somewhere between your lowest and highest numbers. Median, in this case there were two middle numbers. Make sure you put the numbers in order first from least to greatest. If there are two middle numbers, you can add them together and divide by 2, or sometimes you can think about what would be halfway in between those two numbers. Mode is a number or numbers that occur more often than the other numbers. In this case, all the numbers only happen once. They all happen the same amount as each other, so there is no mode. And the range is the difference between the highest and lowest numbers. So in this case, 21 minus 7, which is 14, and that gives us an idea of how spread out our numbers are. We look at the do you know how. We have a table that shows data about students in 3 classes. And the first question, what is the mean number of boys in the 3 classes? What is the mean number of girls in the 3 classes? So we're going to be figuring these separately. So for the boys, so first thing we'll add together the number of boys in each class, 15, 12, and 12, which is 39. And then since there are 3 classes, 3 numbers here, so 39 divided by 3, which is 13. So the mean, or the average number of boys is 13, which looks reasonable. And then we'll do the same idea for the girls. So I'll add together the number of girls. So 14 plus 12 plus 16 is 42, and then 42 divided by 3, which is 14. So the mean number of girls is 14. Mean number of boys was 13. We look at number 5. They're asking what is the mode of the number of girls in the 3 classes. So for this, we got to make sure we're looking at the number of girls. So we're looking at the 14, 12, and 16 here. You can see no number happens more than the others. They all happen the same amount of times, and so there is no mode. Number 6, they want the median number of students in the 3 classes. I emphasize the word classes here. What we're going to do is actually total the numbers up for each class. So Miss Green's class has a total of 29 students. Mr. Nesbitt has 24 students, and Miss Jackson has a total of 28 students. So once we've got the totals for the median, we always want to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. And then we could see for this we only have one middle number here, which would be the 28. So answer would be 28. So we're going to look at a few problems here on workbook page 111. We're going to start out with number 3. They've got some numbers there. They've asked us to order those from least to greatest. So just save time here a little bit, I guess. I've got those in order here for you. I'm confident you can put numbers in order from least to greatest. So this is number 3. The next thing they ask us to do is to find the median and the mode. So we'll need to count up how many different numbers we have so we can see 13 numbers. Okay, so 13 numbers, we have an odd number of numbers, so we do have a definite median here. So if we think about this, 13 numbers would mean we'd have 6 numbers on one side, 6 numbers on the other side, and 1 number in the middle. So 13 happens to be our median. There are quite a few 13s there, but that first 13 technically we could pinpoint as being the median. So we'll specify in our answer here, median is 13. They're also asking for the mode. A way to remember with mode, I don't think we mentioned earlier, mode is the one that happens the most. Mode, most. So 13 happens quite a bit more than the other numbers. This is, by the way, how many national parks there are in some of these western states. Okay, the next question is, how do you find the range, and then what is the range? So the range, remember, and we find that by taking the biggest number minus the smallest number, and now actually define the range. Our biggest number was 26. And our smallest number was 3, so 26 minus 3 would be 23, would be our range. Okay? Number 6, bless you. Newspaper wanted to summarize the data without including Alaska and Hawaii. How does this affect the median? So if we look back at our list of numbers, Alaska was 23. Way up here, and Hawaii was 7, which is down here, one of these. Okay, so that would give us now, instead of 13 numbers, we'd have 11 numbers. So looks like we are still exactly the same 13, isn't it? Okay, so 13 would still be the median. So we could say the median does not change, it would stay 13. Okay? And number 7, how does deleting the data for Alaska and Hawaii affect the mode and the range? So actually we still have a bunch of 13s that we didn't get rid of, so 13 would still be our mode, and we actually kept our biggest and smallest numbers. We didn't get rid of either of those, so our range would also be the same. So this is kind of a unique thing that's not normally going to happen necessarily, but actually taking out some of these numbers, our median, our mode, and our range, none of those would change. I would suspect that our mean would change if we figured that out. They didn't ask us to do that at all in this problem, but probably would be a change with that. We'll look at numbers 8 and 9 here. So we have some weekly salaries of employees, and number 8, they want us to find the mean weekly salary at each company. So for number 8, for company A, we'll add our salaries together. Add those together is 2,600. And then we'll take 2,600 divided by 5, because there are 5 numbers, and you get $520. Good. So that would be for company A. for company B. Same idea. We'll add those together. Oops. Somebody's making a lot of money, more than the others. Okay, so that comes up as 2,600 also. And again, divide that by 5 is 520. Okay. Question they didn't ask here, they could have asked, would be, which company would you prefer to work at? And that's going to maybe just depend a little bit. Obviously, it makes a difference on different companies, just in general, how the working conditions are and things. Overall, company A, you're more likely to make a little bit more money than company B, looks like, right? Unless you're the person that's making the $800 there. Okay? But again, the money's not everything with the jobs. You look at number 9. 4 of 5 employees at company B each received a raise of $40. Okay, so 4 employees, company B, each received a raise of $40. Make sure we're circling, highlighting things. After the raises, how much greater is the mean of the salaries for company B than company A? So, different ways we could do this. We already had a total. So one way we could do this is look at it as 4 people are each going to get a raise of $40. So basically that's going to increase overall, increase our total by $160, right? So our total before was 2,600. So if we'll just add 160 to that, would be 2,760. And then we would divide that by 5 because it's still 5 people. Okay, that should increase our mean a little bit. So divide that out. Is $552. Okay, so $552. Then the question is, how much greater now is the mean for company B than company A? So to figure that out, we would need to subtract. Good. So 552 minus 520, and that's a difference of $32. So this gives you an idea of how to work with mean, median, mode, and range.